Hi, everyone. Welcome to the One Conscious Love Network. I'm here with Catana, and Catana is going to introduce herself. Tell everyone who you are and how you shed your light in the world, please.
Yes, my name is Catana Malinowski, and I am a international best-selling author. I am a dual host podcaster myself, one that's related to what my passion is transformational art with Catana. And that kind of mashes up with my business, which is a new perspective. And what I do there is I use the art modality of transformational art along with wellness strategies to guide people who have survived chronic toxic trauma move into a place of joy and peace so they can experience self-love and more in their lives.
That's so beautiful. Definitely well needed in today's day and age, for sure, where there's just too much of that going on. What brought you into that work?
There was a self-guided healing process myself. I grew up mentally, physically, and sexually abused,
Mm,
experienced systemic abuse, primarily in the judicial education space. And even after 22 years of traditional talk therapy, I I still found myself in spaces of little moments of PTSD showing up and then going into panic attacks. And in my journey of becoming an actually trained artist and going into the professional art space, I developed my own process by
mm,
accident, and it helped me regain my took my power back. All that power that had disappeared or was temporarily unavailable, I like to say. I was able to retrain my brain and body that the past was safe because it was in the past. And that's what I like to help other people do as well.
it's beautiful. Yeah, for sure. And to have experienced it yourself, it must bring so much value to your work, for sure.
Yes, the passion is soul deep for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, what are the ways that you work with people?
So, one of the things that I like to do is give them some basics in just exercising, getting those stuck, those stuck um, images, right? Because PTSD is often images, smells, and touches. So, helping them get those to a more conscious level so that they can then put them in front of themselves. They're writing about them, free writing. There's a journaling and energy release and visual component to this exercise that you begin to do, which opens up to a bigger process. And then through that process, you build more images, visual images.
Mm,
So these are art pieces that they're going to eventually have this nice little body of artwork that they
mm,
can then go, okay, and go through a radical acceptance of, that happened. And it doesn't have to define who I am today, how I am today, who I am in the world.
yeah.
And they can, you know, and part of that exercise is to share it. So
Mm-hmm.
whether we do it in an online space or in front of people, whichever comfort level is more acceptable for them, the idea is that, look, this happens. This is exactly what I took myself through. And the incredible turnaround of not being afraid anymore. And I can now walk past the things that triggered me, sights, sounds, smells, touch, and they don't have that power anymore. And that's what I like to help unfold with people through those modalities.
That's so beautiful. What would you say to those that are not completely aware that they are reactive to trauma? Like they're maybe not as severely impacted, but they are still suffering the same. What would you say to them? What would you get them to pay attention to, maybe?
even at the smaller degree of experience, this process, even that basic one I was talking about, where I like to do it in about 90 minutes because it gives people the appropriate amount of space to experience the exercise. But even at the smallest micro level, it helps.
Mhm.
So it can help you no matter what. There's hope for joy and peace and happiness in all of this chaos.
Mhm. That's so beautiful. I love it. And so obviously because, we're in today's day and age, you're offering this online, and are you also offering it in person? Like how do your classes work?
Yes, I do offer it online. Primarily, that's where I've been because
Yeah.
it began during COVID in terms of an actual business online, where I was already doing this with myself and other folks,
Mhm.
to build that muscle of helping people come along that were just in that space where I was stuck. Is sometimes we just need a hand
Mhm.
and a hand on the shoulder that says, I got you.
Mm.
I can help you through this space. I'm not here to teach you because these are skills you have. You're just not unlocked to them yet.
Mm. So this may be a weird question, but if we're doing art therapy and you're working online with clients, do they get their own art supplies? How does that work? How does that aspect of it?
At this point in the game, yes, because I let them choose the style they want to use. So it
Mhm.
can be anything from pushing your finger through dust, because
Yeah.
my favorite statement I hear most often is, I don't know how to do art. And I say, if you can push dust with your finger, I can teach you how to do the art part. And it's not about perfection. There's no right or wrong to this method, which is even more beautiful
Yeah.
because each person brings themselves to it. And that's what's truly the component there. But yeah, it, anybody can do this. And there's earth art so there's little footprint, you know, because as I'm understanding, when we move things, we move homes for smaller creatures. And I'm always open to understanding that for folks. So, but if somebody wants to go in their yard and they want to use leaves and rocks and pictures, it doesn't matter what the modality is, as long as it fits what's comfortable for you.
It's beautiful. I love it. In my schooling, we did have to have an art therapy class, and as we were studying, went to do the exercises. And the main thing for me, I feel, was that all of a sudden you have balance from the left and the right brain. It was like
Mhm.
using both the creative and the logical in your creation. One of the exercises was to do these circles, and then with the other hand you'd do the reverse, and then you would a little bit like this dance in the 80s we used to do. And it was actually just very interesting to connect a lot more with my right brain, which is always kind of dismissed, right? So it's just really interesting to have that experience.
And what I really love about it is that these activities through art, imagination, because what happened in the past is in the past. So the actual event itself is over, it's done, it's gone. And what we remember in its own way is just an imprint that something we've attached.
Mhm.
And so by doing that exercise, we're going into our childhood and our child inside and playing and bringing back that imagination because we're using the imagination to hold on to it. So we get to use our imagination to create our world today and going forward. And it's just, I love that freeing
Yeah,
feeling you get from getting to that place.
I love that so much. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful what you're doing.
Thank
It's lovely. A question I always ask everyone is, what is one conscious love to you?
mm. In this journey over the last 2 years, coming up on 2 years, is learning to love myself first and foremost, really learning to, because of all the experiences I had, I didn't have that component. I
Mhm.
didn't even know where to look for it. I was running around as the little adult child going, hey, does somebody know how to do this? What is this? And I really did get into asking as many people as I could find that emulated
Mm.
that that was probably in my mind of what that looked like. And I finally found somebody who invited me in and showed me how to find that for myself.
Mm.
And so these last 2 years, I would have to say that when we learn unconditional love for ourselves, one conscious love is part of that. And we become that unconditional love for the world, for its imperfections, for its perfections, and all that messy stuff in between. Because it's all meant for the richness of diversity and inclusion. And yeah, I think that's a good way to describe that.
That's so beautiful indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else you want to share with everyone watching?
Um, First, I love you. And that's coming
Thank
from a genuine place of from the soul. And that love energy that I have for everybody. I am so grateful to be here with you today and to share this space with you. And
you.
thank you for opening me up to your audience, and thank you for having me as the audience. And you can find me on LinkedIn, and I do have a website. Uh, it's CL Malinowski, my last name, .wixsite.com /a-new-perspective. And I'm also available on LinkedIn at Catana L. Malinowski.
Perfect. I will definitely put your links in the comments so it's easy for people to click. So look in the comments as you're watching this. It's such a pleasure to have you. And I hope you'll be back again soon. We have lots of events, we have lots of different things. And I feel like your message needs to be heard way more than once. Yes, a beautiful message of love and compassion. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.